Calling all units, calling all units. Donut shop has a fresh dozen. Go ahead and take a 1040.
They're mostly all in the same room kind of thing.
Right.
But I felt like it would have been a good thing for like major critical incidences to include them in debriefs, or
Oh,
even if it's just write-ups, because one of the things that I like to do was even to give our officers like, hey, here's the information I'm about to give out to the public or the media, and put it in the department email because it's about to be public record anyways. Here's the information I'm about to give out, and you're going to see it on the news or social media. You can read it first, and then you can have that in case the media chops up parts of it or omits some of it. This was the full story that we were prepared to release prior to
hmm.
investigation. um the same sort of thing could go to you guys to um include or loop dispatch in, so you get that sort of additional information.
Oh,
You think that'd be
absolutely.
helpful?
Oh, yes. Or like a daily briefing sheet coming
Mm,
from the PIO, or if uh you have a web page. I would assume you have a web page for the
you could.
PIO for your department, and just make sure
We
that
didn't, but yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah, just to be able to just refer them to that kind of
let
stuff. That's
people know
true.
that, hey, this is going on, because your first people that are going to deal with stuff that goes out to the public is your dispatchers. They're going to
Mhm.
call there before they call, the front desk, or call you guys. And so if you're having stuff go out to the general public, you need to have them know what's going on and what to be prepared for.
Yeah.
I know we had a couple times where we weren't prepared, and it was a Friday night and everybody had gone home, and it goes on the 11 o'clock news and we had no idea what was going on. So
Yeah.
we had to call and wake people up.
Yeah, and then you're right, and then people just call dispatch thinking it's, the old school, dial zero, or, information. That's
Right.
that's their source of information, because there's still a lot of people that don't, jump on X or Facebook to get their news. They just, that's not their style. And if the
Right.
news isn't on, they're not savvy to jump on the internet. They got to call somebody. So they got to call the police. I
Right.
get more and more amazed at how much the police have to, help people along in their life, when it's
Yes.
not necessarily
Sometimes I
enforcing
felt like
laws.
a parent to a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All the time. I say that a lot. Well, for me, I was just the other day. I was customer service at the post office. I was like, why am I
Yeah,
customer service? Like, why am I having to
exactly.
settle this dispute like between the customer and the post office? Like,
Or
is there a
the mom
manager
that
around?
calls and says my kid's not going to bed on time, and it's like, really? Who's the
Yeah,
parent here?
yeah, 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 yeah.
And they want to have cops come out and, talk to the kid, and it's like, that's how you get a bad the bad
Outlook
out
or
yeah, the bad image of cops is that kind of thing. And I told her, I said, put the kid on the phone. I flipped to mom voice and I said, you will go to bed and you will go to
yeah,
bed now, or I will be out there tomorrow morning.
right.
Never heard
Yeah,
from him again. So, it worked, I guess.
yeah, that's like us when we're eating dinner or eating lunch, and the mom or dad would come over and say, like, finish your vegetables or they're going to arrest you. And we'd look at
Oh,
the kid and we'd go, no, we're not. We're not going to
yeah.
arrest you for that because that's not a crime.
Yeah.
Just be a good boy, like that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
it's like we look at the parents and go, what are you doing? Like, you need
Yeah.
that kid who's, I mean, obviously they're not talking about a teenager or a young adult. They're talking
Oh
about
no, it's the little
an
kids, and
elementary
you don't
school
want
age kid. Yeah.
yeah, you don't
And we
want those
need them
kids
to come
afraid
up.
of you. Yeah.
We want them. We want them to come up to us when they're scared or when they're lost or whatever, and not think that we're going to arrest them
Absolutely.
because they walked away from their parent and we're going to take them to jail. Um, so you did say you had, people that called for Bigfoot and everything like that. Any
Oh yeah.
silly stories or
No, I mean,
put you on the
just
spot?
kind of like it kind of went soup to nuts. I mean, you have so many of them that it's hard to that, and I have PTSD brain, so I don't remember a lot.
Okay.
You know, uh, I wish I had had a notebook to
Hmm.
back in the day to write out just synopsis of crazy things that would have happened.
Right. Thoughts.
But
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it's just the typical um, you know, neighbor disputes that would just get so out of control you could just it was funny.
Yeah. 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 All the stuff that they were doing to each other.
Oh yeah. And then you could tell when the first day of school was back when we had payphones.
Hmm.
The first day of school during school hours we would get an abundance of 911 calls from the
Hmm.
school payphones because
Oh,
they would the kids would dare each other to
yeah.
play on the phones.
And it's right there and it's right in front of you. And
Exactly, you know, and so we'd have to send somebody over to go take care of the problem and you know, just fun I mean, there is a lighter side to the job and there are
hmm.
calls that you can laugh at. Oh, uh my Thanksgiving Day call. I had a guy call 911 and we have a problem in Tahoe with bears.
Yeah.
Um Big problem. And he calls up and says, "A bear just broke into my fridge out on my back porch and ate my turkey." And the first thing out of my mouth was, "Oh, bummer."
Hey, what's up, guys? If you like that clip, go over and check out the full episode at Donut Shop Podcasts. Link is down below in the description.